All right. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Just getting a few things set up here. I'll be just a minute. We are watching Rift, which has been doing really well. I can hear myself chatting there. Here we are. What's up, guys? Okay, let me move to this one. Yeah, there we go. Actually, yeah, this one. There we go. Now I'm bigger. Alex, welcome in. Crypto Sapien, Rob F, Ruble, Carrick Player, Right to Do, Sniper Seuss, welcome in. Carrick, this is Banker, by the way. Hey. Welcome in. Yeah, we're killing it right now on Rift. It looks like it's reversing down, so I'm trying to decide if I want to, like, how much I want to hold it or how much I want to let it ride. You can see this pool needs to, it'll probably adjust down. There you go. We set this up a little over 8,000, right around 8,000 in total liquidity. So we're down a little bit on our TVL here, but you can see we've already made 1.5K in fees on our 8K that we put in, over 999%. And so Rift right now on the 5-minute is doing just under $1 million, and on the 1 hour is doing all 18.5 is what it's showing. And so it is, yeah, doing pretty good in volume. Amongo, hey, first live stream for me. Hey, thanks for being here. Well, if it isn't the Token Meister, Ethereal, what's up, man? Good morning, everybody. Hi from Ukraine. Welcome, Alec. Sir, do you think Meteora will do an airdrop? Ruble, yes. Meteora has confirmed they are definitely doing a MET airdrop. In ME2, MET is going to be the token. They just have not said when it's going to be. Which pool am I in? I'm in 100 bin step, 1% pool right now. You can see I entered right here. So we're about where we entered at. Just a little bit below is what it's showing here. Let me refresh that. I want to see what Solana's at. I think it's around 230. Montenegro, what's up, man? Gandalf, good morning. Can I follow with your step? I've only $100. I wouldn't enter into the pool that I'm actively in right here, right now. I would wait to see what it's going to do. You could get in with $100. It would be a little tight, but you might be able to. Because when you open and close with fees and stuff like that, it can hurt you. So you really have to make sure you're making pretty good profit if you're only using $100 to be able to make money on it. Sniper Seuss. Do you think you can explain the dynamics of choosing pools, the nuances between 1 or 5% fees? I think I understand at a high level. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about that. I'm actually in the 1% on Rift, which I kind of wish I was in a higher percentage, but the dynamic does put it up to 2.687%. So that's pretty good. I probably should have gotten into a 2 or 5%, but honestly, this is a pool that was already created and was doing well. You can see the total value locked in here. So I was like, it makes sense for me to just get into this one. We're watching it come down a little bit here, and then we'll see if it bounces down off of this part and comes back up, or maybe even creates a support here and comes up a little bit higher. Honestly, like, you can do, because of the dynamic fee structure with DLMMs on Meteora, like, you can get away with doing a 1 or 2% or 5% on like a token that's new or heavy moving. But essentially, like, the higher the percentage, the more money you can potentially make. The problem is that, like, if the market's not moving super fast, like this token doesn't have a lot of volume and volatility, then if you have like a 5% fee, it's good if there's a lot of volume and volatility because people will be willing to pay that fee. But if there's not, and it's much more less volatile and less volume, then you want to go to a lower percentage, like 1%. And then even like on Sol USDC, you'll see percentages that are like, 0.2, 0.05 and stuff, because the volatility is just not there. And so it doesn't make sense to do that. we're in a good spot right now on it. Again, we're just collecting a lot of fees. And then as it's come down a little bit here, it looks like it's, watching the chart, it looks like it's going to reverse back up here again, which is good because this would signify that it's creating higher highs and higher lows than previous. So it could be in an uptrend, but it hasn't done that yet. It's just in the midst of it. So I'll have to keep watching to see where it goes. We also have a one-sided soul pool on Pekin, which we set up here and has now come down, which I can show y'all. It's doing pretty decent as well. We also still have like our ARC, our Grift, our Buzz, which all is doing okay. Like it's definitely still down a decent amount. I have a pretty wide range set up on those to be able to go back into range. We also have a Trump pool set up, which is also not doing great, but Pekin, this is the one. I don't have any long-term positions open on HawkFi right now, Ethereal. Let me go up and see some questions here. Yeah, the 5% pull is not always the best, Sue. So hopefully you understand that. I did a spot position on Rift. Bid ask could have worked as well. What pools are you in on Rift? How many? 100 bins, 1% is the pool that I'm in. You're waiting to get back into ARC? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You can see I'm earning 60% right now. I set up a one-sided bid ask on Pekin. As it moves down, we'll continue to collect fees, earning 60%. Anytime you're doing a one-sided bid ask like this, if you're wanting to get in and out of it pretty quickly and it's not something you're holding long-term, you want to have at least 50% on the 24-hour or higher. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense because you'll lose more in TVL as it drops, especially if it dips too much. But this is a pretty good amount to be able to hold this and earn. And then as it comes back up, I can sell out of it. Yeah, it looks like Rift was going to try to reverse and come up. And then there was a big sell that happened. So we'll see. We're watching it fight right now. The volume on it has dropped a lot, which makes sense. Anytime there's like a new coin, or in this instance, a coin that just like picked up steam, a lot of times you'll see like just ridiculous volume, but then like at some point it'll level off. Right now in the 5 minute, it's showing 500K volume, which again is half of what it was just like 10 or 20 minutes ago. So it's good to be aware of that. But at the same time, it's still stupid high. Like that 5 minute 500K is like really high. So we'll continue to see if that keeps dipping or if it's going to hold around that 500K. And Pekin's moving back up a little bit. So that's good. We can also go to Ultra LP here to be able to see what our active P&L is across everything. So you can see on Rift, we're up 32% right now. Pekin, we've earned a lot in fees, but even though the value of it's gone down, we're still in a pretty good spot. We're almost at a break even. And then I have some of my longer term holds here, down Buzz the most, but Rift is doing really well right now. I'm going to keep holding it, even though it's going to dip here, which will eat into some of our profits, because I do think it will potentially come back up. I'm going to keep watching it. My break even will be if it ends up, or I'll close out the pool if it ends up not bouncing off of this support here, which would probably put us at like maybe a $500 or $1,000 in profit if we end up closing it out around that line. What pool are you on Rift? 100 bin, 1%. What do you think the Meteor airdrop is? Do you think the Meteor airdrop is already diluted? Depends what you mean by diluted. Like if I think that there's a lot of people that are getting into it, but I still think it's like less diluted than a lot of other coins like Jupe and stuff like that. I would say like either way, I use Meteora because I make money on it. Like even if there was no airdrop, I would still use it because I'm making money. And so to me, it's just free money. So like you shouldn't do Meteora if you're just trying to like farm the airdrop and you're losing money. Like don't just keep farming Meteora because of that. Like at this point, I don't know how useful that would be. If you can break even and do it, then it would probably be good. Like if you're winning some and losing some, but you end up being about break even and you're farming, well, then when you get the airdrop, whether it's $50, $500, or $5,000, like either way, it's still free money. Why are you not claiming fees on Rift? You can compound. I know I can compound, but I don't want to compound right here. I'd rather, so basically if I, anytime I'm in a pool that like I'm holding short term, like I'm not going to be holding this for hours and hours. And so there's no point in me claiming it and adding it in. I'd rather hold it, and then as it bounces and comes back up, I'll sell it for more on the way up than if I just added it back in. But if I'm holding something long term, like Buzz, Grift, Arc, I will close out and roll those back in. Ethereal, have you seen DeFi Tuna? So he said, I've been wanting to take a step back and sit a decent chunk of Sol somewhere. This is where's DeFi Tuna? Right here. You go to DeFi Tuna and lending, and I've been earning 30%. It's down to 18% right now because they increased the supply limit on Sol. But for a while, I was earning like 30% APY on my Sol. And so it probably averages around 20 or maybe a little above 20 because it goes between like 15 and 30%, depending on the utilization. You can also get a little bit less on USDC here as well, but this is much better than the liquid staking as far as returns. And you're lending your money. The only downside is like if utilization gets close to 100% and you have a large chunk and you try to remove it out, your funds may be locked until it goes down, but it usually balances itself out because when the supply APY goes too high and people have their pools created, they end up generating a lot of debt, which eats into their profits. So many times they'll close out of their pool, which reduces the utilization, which then allows you to withdraw. And so I have a pretty big chunk here. If y'all saw, I created a little guide in our Discord. I made a post about it as well, but you can go in the Discord under the education stuff. And I created a guide of kind of what I'm doing in the market right now, as far as like how I'm trying to balance my portfolio and where I'm putting my money. And so you can see this is like one of the things that I'm doing. This is 18% APY, but like on Rift right now, I'm earning like, I don't know, 1,000% APY or more, right? Like way more. And so like you balance the two because obviously like there's much more risk in this. Like you can take some losses while trying to earn in this. And so even though it may be crazy high, it's good to have some like smaller earnings that are a little more stable. And so I do that with my Sol, and then I do like Sol USDC, things like that as well. So it's good to have a balance, but that's where I stake in DeFi Tuna. XKX3, can you tell how you would DLMM for someone who works 9 to 5 and can only semi-manage positions? As long as you can look at your positions like 2 or 3 times a day, Sol USDC is the best for that. You could also set it up in an automated system like HawkFi, but they do take some of the they take some from your profit. Or in like something like Camino, both of these are have automated. They aggregate and use the API on like Orca and Meteora, and then you can you can set it up to where it'll auto rebalance and auto auto compound fees as well. And so you can set that up, or you could just set it up on like a wide enough range, like Sol USDC, to where you can just check it every now and then. So let me show you an example of that. Looks like on the MACD, it's starting to slow. RSI is coming down a little bit. It might dip a little bit more. I would imagine it's going to come down and either get close to this or bounce right off of it and come back up. Not positive, but that's what we're hoping for. And it looks like we'll probably see. You can see the 5-minute volume is now back up to 1 million. Remember, we were looking at it at 1 million earlier. It had dipped down to 500K, and now it's back up to around 1 million. So that's a really, really good sign. You can see the sell pressure is decreasing. People probably think this is a good buy area, and so we're starting to see it reverse here. Again, it hasn't reversed yet, but it looks like it could. So while we're waiting on that reversal to happen, we can come over here. The 20 bin step 2% is really good. If you're wanting it to be more passive, but you'll obviously have lower yields, you could also do the 50 bin 5%. But if you're okay, like looking, again, like managing it every now and then, essentially what you would do is you would come in here, you would set up a pool, and you can see the range. You would just use auto fill. So you're doing a 50-50 on Sol USDC. You need to make sure you have the right amount to do that. It'll auto default to 6.5 down, 7 up. And you can see it goes from $212 all the way to $243. And so Sol sometimes will pump really quickly. But as long as you check it again, like a few times a day, it's not likely to like just pump out of your range. And I would say like if it ever comes down and gets to like near the end of your range, before it goes out of your range, you would just close the pool. If it's on the downside, you now have a lot of Solana. You would just sell enough Solana to get back to a 50-50 position and then reset up a new pool. So you would just you would close out of the pool, which would automatically claim your fees. you would reset it up, and then you would let it ride again. And if it comes all the way back up, again, to where it's pushing out the top, then again, you would just keep doing that back and forth, and you would just keep doing that over and over. Now, again, to do this, you need to have more than like $100 because the fees will start of opening and closing the pool will eat into your profit. But as long as you have like a couple, maybe $300 or more, you should be okay. $100 is cutting it close. You don't want to rebalance too often. You could also do this on Orca, on DeFi Tuna. There's a lot of other options for things, but this is the basic one that I would do. That's probably the safest. And do like the 20 bin 0.2%. And with this strategy, it earns anywhere as low as like 0.35 and upwards of like 1.5, but probably averages around 0.5 to 0.75% a day. And so like you can imagine with just straight APR, that's 182% a year, which is like obviously insane. And so that's a really good strategy. Can you explain why you decided to jump into Rift? I jumped, you can see looks like it's reversing up here. I jumped into Rift because I had seen some people talking about it yesterday and I didn't have the time. Unfortunately, I've had some personal stuff going on. I didn't have the time to like jump in and look at it, but it's some people that like I respect a good amount that were talking about it. And so then as soon as I saw, I think it was Banker mentioned it in Discord, he was like, what the heck is this? And it was ripping. And I came over and that's when it was like at 170 mil market cap. I kind of wish I would have bought in there, but I was waiting to see if it was going to reverse. It took a while before it did. And so we ended up buying in here. But basically, I just saw it ripping. I checked Twitter real quick. I was looking at a few different things. And I was like, this looks like it could do pretty well. It has crazy high volume. So anytime something has really high volume, it reduces the risk of you losing on like your TVL and stuff, right? Because even if I got into it and then it dumped a lot, like I'm still earning fees along the way. And so it helps offset that. And so because the volume's so high, it means you're going to earn way more fees. If I get into something that's earning like 20%, like right now, this is earning like 1,000% or whatever it is, some stupid number. Let me show you. Let me refresh this. I think my Rift pool is going to end up being really juicy right now. Now that it's coming back up. Yeah, it's still around the same. 2,700. It's pretty good. But like if it's earning like 20% on the 24-hour, then like I'm not earning that many fees. And if the price of it goes down, well, then I'll end up losing more in TVL than I'm earning on fees. Whereas like I've earned 2.7K, $2,700 on my 8K that I put in. And I've been in the position for 40 minutes now. And so like for me, even if I were to close it out here, like technically it's down from where I entered in at. But even if I close it out here, I'm going to be up because the fees are so high. Whereas if I was earning less on the fee here, then that wouldn't be the case. I would only have like maybe a couple $100 in fees, but the value of my pool, if it dips too low, could go down and then I'd lose money, right? So it makes sense to DLMM things that have high volume. There's a place for all of them. The ones that earn 20% or 5% a day, there's a place for those. That's like my Buzz, my Grift, and my ARC. But these are the ones that you want to try to capitalize on when you can. Pools like this one. Looks like it's still reversing. Like if you look at the MACD here, even though it looks like it's planing out here, it could come back down some. The lines have not crossed. They come close together, which that happens sometimes. They'll come close, but they don't cross, and then it'll come back down. So it's possible that it does that, but just looking to see if it's going to reverse back up fully at some point. So we'll see there. Let me answer some more questions. Is it possible? Yeah, you can use Ultra LP to track it in real time. The problem is that this is in beta. And so I've gotten some codes I've given out, but they're pretty select about it right now. They're scaling it up. And so as of right now, this is the only way to track it in real time that I know of. There are some people I think that are trying to build some other stuff out. So there may be more options in the future. But as of right now, that's the only way to track it in real time that I know of. What strat am I using? I'm doing 100 bin step 1% on Rift, and I set up a two-sided spot pool. So as it moves up and down, I'm earning fees along the way. Moby is under 100 mil now. Is it a good entry? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of AI stuff that's dipped to like 30, 40, 50, 60%, including like Buzz and Grift and ARC and stuff. And so the volume on Mobi is fairly low in comparison to some of the others. So it might be a good buy if you're looking at it just to buy and sell flip. The DLMM might be okay. It's not like the volume's not completely gone or anything, but it's not high enough to me where I would want to personally. But if you're looking to flip it, it might be good. Honestly, I'm not sure. What are the most reliable scanners to jump into these pools? Meteora, Hawk, Etiquette, Discords. Are you asking just about like trying to find them? Yeah, I mean, like our Discord's great. People talking about this. You can look on Twitter. You can look on Good Morning, Good Night. If you do use this, I use it as a trade bot. You can see here, like I bought in. It shows where I bought in at. It allows me to buy and sell. I have a slippage set up down here at 2% and a priority fee at 0.01. It allows me to get in and out of pools quick. If I'm like selling Sol and USDC, I just use Jupiter. But sometimes trying to get in and out of pools quickly, it makes sense to have a trade bot like this, which is why I use Good Morning, Good Night. And so if you want to use this and you want to support me, I'm gonna pop down my referral link in here. But I use Good Morning, Good Night. I use it to chart and do all that kind of stuff because it's very fast. And then I also use it to do the trading. If you trade, I get a kickback if you use my referral link. So I'd appreciate that. But you can also use Good Morning, Good Night to find the tokens, right? So like under here, you can look at trending, 1 hour, 5 minute. You can look at it by volume. It tells you a lot about the coin. So like whether it's a rug or not or what's going on, right? And like sometimes it'll show that there's like a rug probability. This shows 0.1%. So obviously like it shows the top 10 is 87%, which would normally be like not good. There's a lot of things you want to look at on this. And so like initially looking at this, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to get into this coin. But if you then go to Twitter and see what they're doing with the funds and why it's showing that, then you can confirm whether it's like okay or not, right? And kind of see who they are. Obviously, they have a huge amount of followers. There's a bunch of people I know that are following them. They talk about their tokenomics somewhere in here. Let's see. They also did like a big airdrop and stuff like that. You can go to their website. They put their tokenomics somewhere. I saw it. I looked at it. Anyway, you can look at all that kind of stuff and decide. And so it's really good to be able to help in making good choices like that. Yeah, so we've made almost $3,000 in fees. Our TVL is pretty close to where we entered, maybe slightly down than where we entered at. And so we're going to go ahead and close out of our pool like that. And you can see a lot of the volume on the token has died down a lot. And so again, it could come back up here. It's hard to tell. It's on this like flat line. I'm not sure if it's going to reverse up or come back down, but I'm already up such a high amount that it doesn't make sense for me to stay in it any longer. Again, for you, that may depend on where your entry was at. If you entered much lower, like if I would have entered in below these support lines here, which I didn't, I entered in above it. If I would have entered in below these, then it would make sense for me to like stay in this longer and just wait it out, even if it bounces or whatever. This could go way higher. You know, again, I have no idea. For me, I'm always taking profit. I'm always telling people that you always want to take profit, which is why I'm selling here. But again, like for you, it may not make sense to sell here. It may make sense for you to hold on to it. And I'm going to keep watching this because the volume's dipped down now to 250K on the 5 minute. And so it's showing a pretty significant volume drop. Normally when that happens, you'll see a little bit of a dip before it then stabilizes and comes back up if it does. And so volume is still stupid high on this. The fees that you can earn are still really, really good on this. Again, I just... for me, it makes sense to get out. I've been sitting in it a while. It just makes sense. I want to, let's see. It's weird. It's showing that I'm holding stupid token, but I don't think I am. I had some and I had sold it. Let me see real quick. It's weird that it would say that. Yeah, I'm not holding any, which makes sense. It died a lot. I got out like a long time ago, but in SolScan, it's showing that I'm holding that. But maybe this is like a fake coin. I don't know. Anyway, go to DeFi activities here. I forgot to click on the P&L for Metlex. I want to see how much I made on the pool. Takes into consideration the fees I earned as well as my total TVL interindexing, which you'll be able to see here. So you can see Metlex. It looks like I deposited 8,300. I exited with 7,880, and so I was down like $450 roughly on total TVL, but I earned 2,800 almost in fees, and so I got a 28% P&L on this, earning $2,357 on the 8,300. And so I could have closed this out a little bit higher. Sometimes you just kind of risk watching it a little bit longer before determining like when you want to get out. I'm going to post this in our Discord, and then I'm going to answer some more questions. All right, let's see here. I hear there's a dashboard to see the best lending APYs on Sol. Yeah, there's a few different places you can look. Oh, shoot. What's it called? I have it in Discord. Star Seed. They have a bot right now that is currently they're using to be able to see that. And so here, let me show you. So on Star Seed here, you can like you create a chat like this, and then whenever you're in here, this is the Starseed AI. And so you can say, you just tag it. You can be like, hey, Starseed AI, what are the highest earning APY pools on Meteora? Like this. And then it just like takes a second. It'll respond. Let's see. Oh, maybe let me ask this. What is the highest earning APY token liquidity pool? I don't know if I'm at, or give me the top pools in the last 20 minutes. There you go. It tells me what to do. A lot of times with these bots, like you have to like know the right prompts. So sometimes it's like a little bit of learning on your end as well. But you can see like in this case, there you go, using the following parameters. And so look, PKIN, it'll show you like a bunch of other ones, Fartcoin, Sol USDC, Vine, Grafane, right? Like, so it's showing you all of these. And so then you can click on them and look into them. You just have to give it some parameters and then it'll pop them up for you. And you can even see like, it has their socials, rug check, bubble map, all that kind of stuff. So Starseed's a good one in that regard. There's also Orbit, which I've talked about a ton. And so you can go to the Solana. They have a ridiculous amount of agents on here. I want to go to the liquidity or LP specialist. And so you could do, again, like what are the top 10 pools for this or that? What are the top earning pools on Meteora right now? Again, you have to figure out the prompts and stuff like that, but oops, I accidentally entered it twice. We'll give it a second and come back to it. 5-minute volume looks to be picking back up maybe on Rift, so it could come back up pretty good. Keep watching that. Are you a DLMM on PKIN? Yes, I am. So I have a one-sided pool. Let me show you. So I saw PKIN come up and I was like, it looks like it was going to reverse. I used the MACD to see that and come down. And so it had good volume as well. And so I set up a one-sided pool, bid ask, and I'm in 100 bin 2% on this one. And basically I set it up and you can see it's coming down and I'm earning 62% right now. Now, obviously the goal would be for this to come down into the deep part here and then it come back up. And as it comes back up, either close it out near the top here or, somewhere along here. Basically the goal is just to get into profit. So there it starts to reverse now or it comes down further before reversing, Or if it comes all the way down, I can actually close out of this pool and set up a bid ask the other direction to start earning back on the way up as well. And so there's a lot of different options, but we're doing pretty good on that. I think we're technically around a break even or maybe near a little bit of a loss on Pekin. Yeah, you can see it shows we're down $100, which is fine. On the live P&L, the fact that we're down is not a big deal because, again, like I knew it was going to come down. Like that's what I'm betting on. And so as long as we're earning a decent amount on the fees here, and this kind of trickles back and forth for a while, we'll eventually come into profit. Or if it just pushes all the way back up out of range, we'll be in like really, really big profit, right? So that's kind of how I'm playing out Pekin right now. And you can see the 5-minute volume on it is around 0.5 mil as well. So it's got really high volume. Can you spell the automated system you just mentioned? I don't know which one. Sorry. Can you speak a little slower? I can't catch all the things. So you have HawkFi, which does, which can use different pools. HawkFi, like the bird, a hawk, and then fi.ag. And you can set up pools here, and they automate stuff. You have, if you use HawkFi, I do have a referral code. If you would put it in, that'd be fantastic. I just posted it on YouTube and on Twitter. There you go. And then you have HawkFi for automation. You also can use Starseed. I don't have a referral for this, but Starseed is this is their Discord. Posting it in YouTube and on Twitter. That's their Discord, so you can join there to find out more. You can also go on their Twitter, but they have a DLMMing bot that, or I'd say like DLMM assistant, right? It like kind of gives you pools, gives you information about maybe what you could be DLMMing, and then you have Orbit, which this doesn't automate yet. Let me ask it here. Let me see this. Yeah, the thing about the AI agents, they're really good. It's just that they, you have to have the right prompts. So like, what are the top 10 pairs of pools for Solana, for Sol on Solana? And so it'll pull these up, right? So like you can ask it different questions. And once you know kind of, let me hard refresh this. They could be doing an update right now, which is why it's not popping up. But anyway, you can go to Orbit and they have some great stuff. Grift, the token Grift, this token here, this is Orbit. So this is their platform. And you can just go to the agents. You could be on home. You can find different like Solana pools, yields and stuff. This is like lower yield stuff. This isn't like DLMMing or anything. You go to the LP specialist to find the yields right here, LP specialist. They have like, give me the 3 pairs of pools for Pingu. Give me the top pairs of pools for Rift. Again, it might be being updated right now because it was struggling to pull up something earlier, but yeah. All right, let's see. So if I have $300,000 worth of Sol, I should be doing this. Yeah, I imagine so. That sounds really good. Are you going to DLM Rift? I was DLMing Rift. I just got out of it. We made like $2,300 something dollars. Yeah, right here. Can you explain how you found Rift or what your process is to find other meme coins? Yeah, so I explained it earlier. But basically, I'm using Twitter, I'm using Discord, and I'm also looking on Good Morning, Good Night under the trending section, under 5 minute, under 1 hour, looking at the volume. And basically, I just look for stuff that's high volume, right? And so I click on it. This could be a scam or this could be really good. So when you click on something like this, basically, I'm looking at the top volume. It's doing over 1 million on the 5 minute. So obviously, that's a lot. This is what they call a honeypot, right? So the fact that you could see this come all the way up right here, you can see some of the audit stuff here doesn't look great. I can go, again, like this may not be one, but it's most likely. We'll see. I go to Twitter. It has 77 followers. No one that I'm following is using it. and it has 10 likes on this right here. So this Twitter has no activity at all, and yet somehow they're saying they're doing 1 million volume on 5 minutes. And so this is what's called a honeypot. Basically, what happens is they open this up, they start buying their own token, and then as soon as someone puts in a buy, they immediately sell, and then they start buying more. And as soon as someone puts in a buy, then they sell. And so basically, what they do is they make money off of people thinking that this is legit. It's a honeypot. So the first thing you do is look at volume, but then immediately, anytime you see a giant green candle like this and then it start moving, it's probably not great. It's also only been live for 1 hour. And so normally I don't get into stuff that's only been live for 1 hour. Again, unless it's something that I've done research on, or I think could be good, like something like the Rift token, obviously, it could be that case. But you can see like this, there's like this Coca-Cola token that was released 7 minutes ago and it's showing 1.4 billion market cap. Like obviously this is probably not legit, especially when you look at some of the other numbers. So like you just have to be careful. But anyway, the idea is that you look through here, you filter through the junk, you find the good stuff that has high volume. And then once you click on it, you verify using Twitter and other things that it's a real token. Sometimes you can ask people, talk in Discord about it. What do y'all think about this? And other people can help you. And then I decide to DLMM it. So volume is obviously really important. Once I actually get to the token, then I have to make the analysis. Okay, is this going to go up? Is this going to go down? Right. And so like, if it's going to keep going up, then like, I probably just want to buy it and set up. If I think it's going to only go up a little bit before coming down, maybe I'll set up a 2-sided pool. If I think it's going to go way up, I'll set up a 1-sided pool with the token to to basically sell out of it on the way up and earn a bunch of fees. Or if it's in reverse, like let's say I buy in, it's like way at the top and it looks like it's going to be reversed, then I can set up a 1-sided SOL bid ask, which is what I did on Pecan or Pumpkin, whatever you want to call it. I set it up here. I saw this giant reversal happening, so I set it up, and now I've been riding it on the way down, earning fees. And so you have to adjust your strategy. Basically, if you're catching it high and it's coming down, you do a SOL 1-sided bid ask. If it's going up really heavy, you could do a 1-sided bid ask up. Or if you think you're somewhere in the middle of the range, you can set up a spot strategy. But that's how I decide like what I'm going to do and enter. And then as far as actually choosing the pool, I'm pretty much always in a 100 bin step, anywhere between an 80 and a 200 bin step, but usually 100, 125 bin step, and then a 1 or 2% fee. Again, there are special occasions where I'll go below 1% fee on coins that are larger, or a higher percent fee on coins that are much more degen and volatile as well. But that's the gist of it. I also have a ton of guides on exactly what I just talked about on my Twitter that you can go look up. How to get access to Ultra LP, you can go to their site, app.ultralp.com, and you can sign up to try to be a part of the beta. They'll be eventually releasing it. I get codes every now and then that they will allow me to give out. I'm hoping to get some more soon, but they've been pretty tight on them as of now. And so we'll just have to see. But those are the only ways to get it right now. Do you like Buzz over Griff? Are they similar frameworks? I wouldn't say that I like Buzz. When you say Griff, I assume you mean Griffane and not Grift. Or do you mean Grift? Grift over Griffane, I mean. Oh, okay. So Grift. Oh, do I like Grift over Griffane? I think they all have a place. They all have their niches. Grift and Griffane are doing some same things, but also a lot of different things. So I like both of them. If you have a small portfolio, like $1,000, what would be your advice to start in the Solana ecosystem? $1,000 is not small. I think 1,000 is a great amount to start with. You can DLMM with $1,000. I would say just use like 500 of that. And you probably want to have like 500 in some slow earning things. And then like use your other 500 in some things that are a little bit more volatile that you can earn some money on. But again, I could get into a gazillion different strategies. I would say watch a bunch of my guides that I have on YouTube and Twitter, or X. On X, I have a, you can just go to my profile. I'll post it on YouTube right now. If you're on X, you can literally just go to it. And right here pinned, I have Ultimate DLMM Guide. So you can look at the basics, pool selection, all that kind of good stuff. So I would check it out there. We have over 500 people watching today. Thank y'all so much for coming and checking us out. I do stream every Monday and Wednesday of every week. Sometimes that's adjusted, and sometimes I'll even be on like on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, kind of depending on what's going on. But for the most part, Monday and Wednesdays, you can always come check me out. I appreciate it. Also, if you would engage, follow me on my Twitter. I am trying to get monetized. We're still really far away, but that's the goal. I appreciate that. And then, of course, if you end up using any of the things I talk about, like HawkFi, good morning, good night, I appreciate if y'all use my referral code because it helps me out a ton. I just entered on this low on what, Rift or Pecan Sniper? Bro, do you think Rift is a good project? It says something of an airdrop in the website. Yeah, they're doing an airdrop. It looks like, so look, this is a significant support for Rift. If it drops below this, it's probably going to go further. And so just be careful if you are still holding Rift. If it bounces off of this and comes up, you're fine. Just watch this. I'll leave this up right here for a minute. Do I think it's a good project? Yeah, so they, I'll come back to that real quick. Here, I'll just click on their Twitter thing here. I don't know like a ton of detail. I didn't like go in and like do a complete look at it, but the fact that they have a lot of followers, the fact that a lot of people I follow them, and then I went through some of the things they were talking about, but they have an airdrop. Again, you can find out more about what they're doing. Look, I mean, again, I'm not going to do a full analysis right now. Site down. Let's see. Just come look at their site, look at to see if you're eligible for the airdrop. Remember, don't connect your wallet to anything. Here you go, Rift Tokenomics. It says the site's down. That could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It could be blocking me because I have a VPN. I'm not sure. You can just decide for yourself. Go check that out and see. So yeah, I'm not sure about the long haul of Rift, if it's amazing or not. Here you go, Jonah. This is the guy that I saw talking about it. You can come see what he talked about. On-chain entertainment, Rift, you know, all the different stuff here. So there's a lot of people. I saw Jonah talking about it the other day, so you can come check it out, read through that, figure it out. Again, there's always going to be the excitement. There may be FUD, there may be this or that. It does look like it's dipping even lower. So again, just be careful. I would sell at this point. It may come back up, but I probably wouldn't hold on to it too long. Looks like I probably got out of it at a good spot. What's considered high volume? Anything over 2 million on the 1 hour and anything over like 200K on the 5 minute is considered high volume. So 200K and 2 mil. How much of your Meteora PF did your initial position on Rift represent? How much of your Meteora do you, I'm not sure what you're asking. Get scrolled. If you would rephrase that. Amongo, I don't always buy on a 50-50 spot. I explained kind of what I do with that, but sometimes I open up a one-sided position. So like, for instance, we're on Rift right now. Let's say I wanted to, I'm like, okay, it's going to dip, but I don't think it's going to like dip forever. I think it may like do well over the long haul. It's just, it looks like it's in a big dip right now. Well, then like I can come over here to like 100 bin step or maybe even a bigger one, like the 125, 5%, for instance. And I can set up a one-sided SOL bid ask. And so I could come in here, add a position. Let's say I'm like, all right, I'm willing to put in, 10 SOL. And we do a bid ask like this. I thought I turned autofill off. We're just going to do SOL one-sided. So look, 57% down from where it is. You can see it's at 180K. So if it drops 50%, right, from this, it's going to end up going to like 130K roughly, right up in here. And so if I think that it's possible it could go lower than that, that maybe I would go a little wider than this 125, right? So you can kind of make that decision for yourself. But essentially, you would just set it up. It is earning a lot of fees. You can see there is a difference in the price here. So maybe I would refresh it and then add on to it. But I could be setting up a one-sided SOL bid ask to capture the volume on the way down because it still is doing over 500K on the 5 minute. Which is really, really high. So we could earn good fees on that. Anytime the current pool price is offset, you can always refresh the page. So like I'm going to put in 15 SOL here on this one-sided bid ask. So basically barely any of my Solana, I'm not spot buying it, right? So if I spot buy and the price goes down, what I bought is now worth less. In this instance, I'm putting in 15 SOL, but like I'll just be buying like 0.02 SOL right here. And then I'll buy a little more towards like 0.1 SOL all the way down, right? So like I'm just using a little bit of Solana to where I'm not really losing a lot if it keeps going down. But because some of my Solana is being used, I'll earn fees as it comes down, right? And look, it may not come down very far. It could reverse at some point, but then I'm not really risking anything by doing this if it goes back up. Like, let's say it just dips a little bit and then comes back up. Well, I made a few dollars and now I have all the SOL that I just had in the first place, right? So it's not like the downside isn't very high on that. And so this is how you set up a one-sided position. You don't see that screen. When you say that screen, share the start screen. Sorry, I don't know what screen. The start screen? I don't know what y'all mean by star screen. Star. Y'all should be able to see, yeah, anything that I go to on this, you can see. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, so the MACD actor, please show how you use the MACD. So, for instance, on Rifts, right? Basically, the MACD, I use everything. So I use supports and resistance lines. I use RSI, and I use MACD. The simple form of these is RSI is showing you whether it's a good buy, if it's a good value, right? If it ever goes above 70, it's showing you that it's not a great value to buy, that it's probably higher than what it should be. Now, if a token's pumping, it pretty much stays above that, but at some point it'll reverse. Now, if it's below 30, 35, 30, it's showing you it is a good buy, which you can see down here. Rift came all the way down. It looks like it might be making a reversal. So live, I can show you this. Look, it dipped below this support, but it looks like it didn't come down very far. You can see the sell pressure on the MACD. These red lines were dark red. They're now pink and they're smaller, and the lines are coming together. As they come together more, it's showing that it might be making a reversal. You can see on the RSI, the number dipped down all the way to 22, and you can see it's starting to pick up here. So you can see it's starting to reverse. And then you can use the support lines and such as well here to see where it's going to go from there. And so it looks like it's creating a new support down here. So I'll move the line down. And it looks like it could be coming back up. And so this is the next resistance line. So as it gets closer to this line here, if the MACD, after it reverses, starts to slow and the RSI looks like it's dipping as well, then it could be a sign it's going to bounce off of this. So I use all of them. MACD is like a trend line showing me when the trend swaps. And basically, it's showing it's starting to swap here, but I wait for these lines to cross and start to separate before I'm pretty sure that it's actually swapping. And then on RSI, it just shows you, is it a good buy? You want to try to buy below like 40. Realistically, if you can buy below 35 or 30, that's even better. And so at this point, it's below 35. It's showing a swap. It looks like it's coming back up. You could get into it, but it could be a false reversal, which is why I usually wait for these numbers to all come up a little bit more before I actually get in. Even though I'm getting in higher than if it was down here, it's still worth it to wait to make sure it's actually coming back up. And it's not just going to come up a little bit and then reverse back down. How has your experience been with the auto compounding on HawkFi? This question open to everyone. Yeah, so HawkFi is great. The only problem with HawkFi is that it's a time-based rebalancing. And so, or the auto compounding is great. Sorry, you can auto compound. It does it really well. The problem with the auto rebalancing is that it does it on a time-based on HawkFi, so every hour. And so sometimes if it just checked and then your position goes out of range, it may be 45 minutes or 30 minutes before it actually rebalances. And so it'll be nice when they have an event-based rebalancing system, meaning once your position gets to a certain point, it will then close it out and rebalance it to where it's now in a new range before it goes out of range. You were saying about an automation tool for farming SOL USDC that adjusts the pool for you. Yeah, that's HawkFi right now. I've talked to a lot of different people that are talking about trying to either have an AI agent do this for you or building out a bot that will do this differently than HawkFi. And so there are other options of things that are out there right now that people are trying to build, but there's nothing yet. Camino also does this. Can you explain in which case I can use curve pool like one-sided? I don't know where I would ever use a one-sided curve pool. There are some like rare scenarios, but it's not one that I use often. What filter do you use on Good Morning, Good Night? I use the MACD and the RSI. You can just go to indicators here. I'm not sure what you mean by filter exactly, but I'm on the 1 minute chart right now because this is a newer coin. If I'm looking at something like ARK that's been around a while, you can see I'm on the 5 minute chart here. So it just depends on what I'm using in that regard. I don't know what else you might be asking. Is it more profit you just hold the token than put in DLMM if the token goes up? So if you're holding the token and you buy, like if I buy here and it goes up, right? Well, I would have made more money holding the token if it goes up quickly than if I DLMM'd it, because if you DLMM, you're selling it on the way up. You're selling it here, 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 right? Whereas if you just hold it and you're selling it here, you have more token, you're selling at a higher value. But it's also the exact same the other direction. And so if it goes down, well, you're selling on the way down. Whereas if you just bought it and you wait and then you're like, oh crap, it's gone down, I need to sell it. Well, now you're at a higher loss. So with DLMMing, the upside is lower, but the downside is also less, right? And so it's a kind of mid trading strategy if you look at it in that regard. But on top of that, if it doesn't move up or down very quickly and it sits a little while before moving up, or it kind of goes up and then down and then up again, well, then a lot of times, like when you bought it, let's say you buy this at 180 mil right here, and then it goes up to 230 mil. Well, if you just bought it and you're looking to sell it here, you'll make that money, right? But if it sits and bounces around for a while before it finally comes up to where you want to sell, you actually may have made more money depending on how long it sat in it, because of all the fees you earned along the way. It also depends on volume for your fees and all that kind of good stuff. So it just depends. If I have $60,000, how much money do you think I can make a month DLMMing? That all depends, man. I mean, you could make $60,000 in a day if you're using $60,000, or you could lose a bunch in a day. So it's hard to say. If you're just like playing it safe, you could just do some simple math. If you do Sol USDC and you earn like 0.5% a day, and so times 30 days, that would be 15%. And so if you take your 15% and you multiply it by your 60,000, well, then you can make $9,000 a month if you do it like that. Again, this isn't taking into consideration impermanent loss and other risks, but that's the gist of what you could do. You could make way more. Have I looked at Helio? What aspect of Helio, Pilstring? On Rift, but it looks like I'm about to get cooked. Yeah, I mean, if you just bought into Rift as a spot buy, Sniper Seuss, then you might be. It looks like it's trying to bounce, but it may come down lower before it comes back up, which is why we set up a one-sided bid ask. Again, we're just barely in here. Again, we've made like $1 on fees. It's nothing crazy again, but like if it does come down further, then we'll end up making more money. So that's why we have it set up like that. It looks like it's more likely to come back down, but it could come back up here. So I don't know. We'll see. I got into Hawk and Meteora because of your videos. Hey, thanks. I'm glad. Hopefully it's been going well for you. I use Good Morning, Good Night because it's way faster than Deck Screener. If I used to use Bird Eye, I've tried Deck Screener. One, I just don't like the UI and the layout. So sometimes it's a personal decision for you. But I had been DLMMing for a while, and I was using Jupiter to trade. And so that's just, spot Jupiter here. And Jupiter is amazing for being really efficient and saving you money on fees and stuff. The problem is that the thing that makes it efficient also can make it slow. And I would sit here trying to buy and sell stuff like crazy, and it didn't work. And people are like, you need to get a trade bot. And so some people had told me about Good Morning, Good Night. And so I looked into it because it has a trade bot built in over here, which is really, really nice. And then it also has, it's also just really good at charting, and it's really, really fast, right? And so if I look at Deck Screener, it's much clunkier to me. Whenever I try to look up a token, it'll show individual pools instead of all of them together. And I like seeing them all together, like on Good Morning, Good Night. But these are showing individual pools. So like some of these will be like the fluidness of it will be a little bit different. And so like, look, if we're looking at, they do have like 1 second here, the 1 second chart. Good Morning, Good Night has 1 second, 15, 30, 1 minute, right? Oh my gosh. Trying to split screen this is a little bit of a pain. Where's the chart? The chart just disappeared. Oh, here you go. Chart. Oh, wait. That's not. Is that the right thing? That's a completely different coin. Okay. Bro, it'd be great to see the chart on this. This is wild. Where's the chart? Do I have to make this like massive? Okay, there we go. It just like completely bumped the chart out of it for some reason. All right, so you can see like over here on Good Morning, Good Night, it just bumped up to 18.663 and then came back down. You can see like it's pretty active there. And look at this. They're both on 1 second right now. And so like you can see like the price moves here. And the price hasn't moved over on here yet. And so like this is much faster and gives much better information than Deck Screener, which is just like super slow. And doesn't give the same accurate. I'm on a 1 second chart on both of these, but like the prices look very different. And so like Rift has been showing that it was above 18, and Deck Screener just started showing that, even though we're on the 1 second chart. It's like anywhere between like 30 seconds to a minute behind when it comes to it. And the chart is much more like the 1 second chart actually shows the 1 second like very accurately, whereas on Deck Screener does not. Even if you just look at like the 1 minute chart on both of these, again, like you can see the price difference. This is showing 18.27 still, but the price is already is not at 18.27, 18.47. See, look, you can see like the dips happen on here and then the pumps happen. And then like this follows. Like, watch, this is going to come back up here. And it happens like 30 seconds. There it goes right there. 30 seconds to a minute later, right? Even the charts look different as far as like what we're looking at here, even though we're on the 1 minute chart on both of these, right? So anyway, long story short, without getting into it too much more, Deck Screener is much slower and not as good. That's why I like Good Morning, Good Night. Also, I can chart and then I can immediately buy here. I have my DLMM wallet integrated into the buy bot here. So I buy and then I can immediately come over here and I can enter in the pool because my wallet's connected to DLMMing on Meteora. And so I have a buy bot that directly translates into me getting in and out of coins with DLMMing really quickly. Also, just a heads up, Good Morning, Good Night does use a fee. But to me, the fee is like well worth it because again, like if I'm buying like Sol USDC or some like very stable coin or a coin that's just like not moving a lot, I just use Jupiter because it's cheaper. But because they use a fee here, it's really good for getting in and out of coins like Pecan and Rift and stuff that move really, really quickly. Many times on Jupiter, I end up losing way more than what the fee is on Good Morning, Good Night, which is, I can't remember where it is. It's like 0.1 or 1% or something. But again, like you'll lose way more trying to buy on Jupiter with the price moving drastically than if you just bought it quickly on here and paid the small fee. Yeah, Trader Blue, there you go. Rift was a drop to HVMTL holders, which was a Yuga project now owned by Faraway GG. So there will be sell pressure as more people claim. That makes sense. Looks like it's going up here, though. Rift dipping is hurting me right now, but I'm going to hope that it comes back. It is coming back right now. I definitely would watch it, though, and be careful. We were talking about Starseed earlier. Yeah. Token guy giving me hope. Maybe, man. Let's see. I'm like 10 minutes behind on these questions. You were showing Star Screen earlier. Oh, sorry. That's because it was on my Discord, I guess. Yeah, so Starseed, so you'll need to just go look on Twitter. It's right here. I pulled up the Discord. Sorry, I didn't realize that y'all couldn't see that. But you can go see, look, they have a demo of it right here. And so this is like you can go watch this video. Here, let me play it. And it goes through and it's like, hey, Starseed. It basically goes through showing you how to use the bot. So you can just go watch the video. I basically just did a simple little demonstration of that as well. Go check it out and see for yourself if you like it. I'm kind of like, I think it's cool. Like I like the bot. It's just, it needs more to happen. Again, like there's no automation side of things. Looks similar to trading. People who trade are usually unprofitable. Do you think it's easier to be profitable? Yeah, absolutely. It's way easier, KKX3. Like, let me see something. I thought I shared my whole screen, which should have pulled up my Discord, but it didn't. Okay, here we go. Let's pull up Discord. This is Starseed. You can see it now. But if you just go to my Discord, you can see there's tons of people chatting in here all the time. I drop educational content in here. This is my kind of plan on being successful, having a plan, setting up your portfolio. We have beginner questions here. People are answering these as well as myself. It shows all of the wins and everything here. You have discovery. So like you can just like type in, you can type in a tag like Rift, which someone's already done this probably. And our Rick bot will pull it up and show you everything about it, as well as you can pull the direct CA off of it here. You can go to different things, right? But it's great. You can also go to pool find here. And so this is Soul Decoder. Oh, wait, no, is this? Oh, no, sorry, this isn't Soul Decoder. So pool find, basically you just enter in the token and it'll show you all of the Meteora pools for it, how much they're earning and everything like that. So this is really cool. It's easier to view this. Then there's DLMM alert. This is Soul Decoder. Basically, again, some of these are not great. They could be like rugs and stuff, but basically as soon as a new token starts popping off, it'll pop up here. And so it's potentially good to DLMM. It'll even give you all the links and stuff to be able to go to it as well. We have Vector Chat, where we can put codes, but also chat about Vector from Tensor. HawkFi, you can see the direct HawkFi team is here. So you can ask questions about HawkFi. And stuff like that. You can see Gutex wanted to share a win about HawkFi. He talked about, he said he had been in the 20 bin, 0.2% fart coin sold for 5 days. And he said, this is a testament to the power of HawkFi. I go back and forth about whether to rebalance only up or down. And these results seem to confirm that it'll save you during a downturn. Anyway, you can see here he did really well. So HawkFi team's here. They can ask questions and they'll chat with you. And then you can see we have a DeFi Tuna channel to talk about all the strategies around DeFi Tuna. The Decoder Bot chat, this is to talk about all things with the Soul Decoder Bot. And every now and then we'll have some giveaways, which we don't have yet, but that'll be there. And then we have more tickets. We have, you know, the Mateys, our NFT section and stuff like that as well. It's just Lindy says, hi, Twitter. Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in here that you can get into to be able to see what's good. But like you can see under the winnings, like people make money, right? A lot of people make money. And it's easier because even when the price of something goes down, like you still can make money. So you don't have to be perfect. And even when you do lose money, because of doing DLMMing, you'll lose less if you're doing like a one-sided bid ask than if you were just trying to like buy and sell something, right? So for instance, if you bought up here on Rift and it came down to here, you would have lost a lot of money. If you would have done DLMMing it, you might have lost some, but like it would have been much more minimal, because you're buying on the way down and you're earning fees, which offset your loss on the way down as well. So that's just something to consider. Was FAFO a scam? How did they manage to launch at the same minute as the pick was posted? I'm not sure what FAFO is. So maybe. OMS Val said that you commented on my most recent post. Some reason my compounding fees are 0, even though I have auto compound. Can you have a quick glance to see? Yeah, sure. Let's take a look. Fabiano tagged me in one of his posts. Appreciate that, homie. You said you commented on my most recent post. Which one? My good morning post? Is it blocking you for some reason? Yeah, I don't know which one you commented on. You'll have to let me know, and then I can take a look at it. I already made $2 with $45 on Bid-Ask. Meteor is so good. Hey, love to see you, man. We just see Twitter. Someone call his cell. I know I'm just sharing one browser window, but I only use this one browser window, so I'm not like looking at the other things. When I was talking about, like, you can see the Discord right here, right? I can see it on my stream. You should be able to see it right here. 99% of AI agents, the idea is that they just need more execution. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of cool stuff going with AI agents. I'll see it. I think we'll see it all become like way better, but it's just going to take some time. Is it bad to only use BidAsk? No, you can use just BidAsk. Oh, I was showing y'all a chart earlier, but you couldn't see it. Interesting. I don't know. Which one? When I was showing y'all the deck screener one? Crypto Sapien, I just added one soul on a one-sided pool for Pill. If it goes up, will I lose any soul that I added? If you're on a one-sided pool and with just Solana, and if it goes up, then your Solana will just stay the same. You'll only start buying the token with your Solana if it goes down. Yeah, OMS Val, just put it in Discord under the Hawk5 part. You can ask them the question, and I can also look at it and see. Yeah, when I compared deck screener versus good morning, good night, I mean, that's weird. Like, you should have been able to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you can see it right there. I'm not sure why it wasn't showing it. That's strange. It's all good. All good. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Rift. I'm going to get out of it for now. Peking's doing well and coming back up. You can see on Rift, it came in and came out. So look, I'm left with the same amount of soul, 15 soul that I started with, and I made $4. If it would have come down a little further and then come back out more, I would have made more money. I'm just going to get out of it for now. Rift's not really doing a whole lot for me, but that gives you the example of how you can make money on it with the one-sided soul. Once that closes, I'm going to go look at the pumpkin, pecan, whatever you want to call it. Have you already seen the Meteora top wallets analytics? I believe you're in the top 10. You talking about on Meteora lead? Like here? What are you talking about? I don't think I'm in the top 10. Maybe I am. You're asking me to check Pill. I don't even see Pill anywhere in the top volume coins. I doubt it's any good. I'll look at it, but I don't often look at just random stuff. It's doing high volume. It's strange. The unofficial mascot. I mean, without it being official, it seems weird. Oof, got a slight headache. It's at 12 million market cap right now. That's crazy. I'm not messing with anything too much below 30 million market cap. If I did, I would I'd maybe only put like 1% of my portfolio in this or smaller. And so it could do well, but it's not worth the risk to me to put a lot of money into something like this that could die off. It might do well. We'll see. In the Meteora top wallets, range fees are, I'm not sure. Like, where are you talking about when you say you're looking at the Meteora top wallets? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so the MACD, the difference on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. So you can see I'm on a 1 minute right now. It's just 1 minute on both, like the generic chart, the RSI, the MACD, all of it. It's just showing you in a much shorter term, right? This. It should already be connected. Let me just hard refresh it. It should already be connected. And so you can see here, like it's showing that on the short term from here to here, like with the MACD reverse and it's coming up. But if you're curious about what it's going to do more long term, you can look here and you can see, look, it's been way down. So you can see it's just flipping on Pekin on the 5 minute. And the RSI is showing a little bit lower on the value. So in the long term, it looks like it's just getting started on its buildup. Whereas on the 1 minute, it looks like it started a little while ago, right? So you can use the 1 minute to get a micro idea, but you want to get into a coin at the place in which both are true. Both the 1 minute and the 5 minute are both signaling the same thing. And then I use the supports to determine support and resistances, right? So like for this to start to be in a big uptrend, it's got to break above this line here. And then we're looking at the 5 minute and the 1 minute as far as about the reversal here. So like what I'll end up doing, this is probably a good time. This is riskier to do this, but it also means there's more upside because we did a one-sided sol on Peking on the way down. You can see we've been earning 63%. And so it's actually already come back up a decent amount. And so what I can do is I can withdraw and close this. And so I only have $500 something of Pekin that's been bought. And so what I could do is here, I could just buy this and then reverse it on the way up. Also, if I'm pretty confident that this is going to keep going up over like the long haul right here, I can actually buy some more as well. Like maybe I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy 10 sol worth. When a token's moving really fast like this, I have a low slippage so that I don't pay too much on slippage. So sometimes you just kind of have to spam buy a few different times until it finally goes through. Let me just hard refresh this also. It could just be, that could be the case. No, it's just, I might need to turn up my priority fee. It's at 0.01 right now. Put it at 0.05. See if that helps it go through. And see, if this was on Jupiter, there would be like no chance of me getting into this. But because this is a high, like a really fast moving coin, I'll up my slippage and priority fee like I just did. And then I'll buy it. There we go. Successfully bought. So I have these here so that on a normal trades, I'm not like spending a crazy amount on the priority fee or on the slippage, but if I need to move it up, I will. So I closed out of this pool. I bought some more. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go bid ask on the way back up like this. And actually I could go, I think this is actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a hybrid strategy. So I'm going to do half of what I have here on bid ask because I bought 10 sol. And so I actually have more in what I just bought than what I had earned on the way down. And so I'm going to set it up and do half of what I have here on a bid ask. And then I'm going to go to the same position here. And now I'm going to add the rest, but I'm going to do spot. And so what this does is it creates a hybrid between bid ask and spot to where it's still selling it less than it at the bottom here than it will as it goes up. But I'll also start earning more fees right away. And usually I do this if I think it's going to come up a little bit and kind of move around this bottom range for a while before it then finally moves up. I'll start earning fees right away. So that's what I'm kind of betting on here. We'll see what it does. You can see it's already come up a lot even from where I initially bought in at. And so we'll keep watching it. But based on the 5 minute, the 1 minute, and the supports that it was breaking through and everything, the next big support or resistance, will be here. To me, it looked like it was a good buy to get in at that point. So that's what we're doing on Pekin. To set it up, you just go to FX. It's called indicators right here. It may say indicators or it may just say FX. And then you just type in MACD and you click it here. Or you type in RSI, Relative Strength Index, and you click it. And then it'll just pop up down here. I don't know what D-Flow is. You'd have to tell me what that is. Yeah, Seuss, don't mess with Pill, man. I mean, it could do well, but it's more degen right now. If it starts to come up more and it looks like it might be solid, then maybe. But yeah, for now. All right, look, hey, I got into this. It looks like it's going to do a reversal here, which is totally fine if it comes down a little bit before coming back up. I am fine with it being here because when you look at the 5 minute chart, like it looks like to me it's just getting started on its pullback up. And so it's fine if it dips a little before coming back up. I'm going to be hopping off shortly. And so am I from the LP army? No, I'm not. I've thought about doing the like the LP Army class to be able to be involved in that. I think Meteora is great. I think the LP Army is great. Everything they do, Goose DAO is great. There's a lot of really good communities out there. I'm in support of all of those. But you know, we have our own community and the things that we do that gives us the ability to do other things that they don't. And so that's why we do what we do. But yeah, they're great. I'm going to go ahead and hop off now. I appreciate y'all so much for watching me. We ended up getting over 700 people today. Thank y'all so much for coming out and watching. Again, I do stream every Monday and Wednesday. If you do use HawkFi or Good Morning, Good Night, I have links to those in the Discord as well. I appreciate y'all use my referrals. It helps me out a lot to be able to get a little bit of a kickback on that and to, have that used. And so, again, I hope y'all have found this educational and helpful. I'll be putting out more videos on YouTube, on Twitter, as well as continue to do these live streams, trying to bring on more people to chat. Just all around trying to stay on the market and being able to help y'all out as best as possible. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. I'm going to hop off and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.